Nobody quite prepares you for what happens to your body after you have your baby. I know I sure wasn't. In this video, I talk about 13 postpartum body changes that happened to me that I did not see coming. Maybe you're the same, or maybe you've had some things that are completely different. It was really hard at first to accept all the changes that happened, but I am grateful because without that, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you. I'm Linda with bodiesafterbabies.com. I help mummies just like you fit into your jeans, get your sexy back, and find a life of happy. If you are new here, welcome, and please hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell below so that you can be notified of my next upcoming videos, because there's going to be a lot of them. With that being said, let's get started. Number 1, my chest got massive. It really looked like I just came fresh out of the augmentation surgery instead of coming home from having my baby. I'm not even joking. These things were the size of, like a watermelon. It seriously was a watermelon. I actually measured it and it was like, okay, I think that's the size of my head. And it was the size of my head. I had to go out and buy more bras because as the milk came in, these things just got bigger. That was actually a super surprise because I didn't realize they would get that big. The other things was I didn't know you could get mastitis, which is that infection, and you feel like you pretty much have a flu from hell. And the baby could rip chunks out of the chest when they grip down and it's not a proper latch. Yeah, I'm still wincing from that. And also that there's low milk supply and I couldn't feed my baby properly because I wasn't having the proper milk supply, even though I had pills for it. But I will do another video to talk about that because there's a secret to that and there's a reason why you don't have low milk supply, but I will do that in another video so that I can get through all these 13. Number 2 was the bleeding was way worse than I thought. The funny thing is I went to the hospital with these like little thin pads, like thinking, okay, like I'll just have the Maxi mini pads and I'll be fine, right? How bad can it be? How bad can it be? I was super naive to that. And it lasted a lot longer than I thought as well. Comment below, let me know what happened to you. Number 3, I was scared to go to the bathroom, specifically number 2. Now, who knew that I would end up being scared of going to the bathroom, but I had to actually have a catheter on my second birth with my little one, and because I wasn't able for some reason to go number 1. So they did a catheter and then I went home and then it was time to go to the bathroom and I was freaking out because, it's the first time and you don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. It really screws with your mind and seems super scary. If you were like that, just put a number 2 in the comments below. Number 4 was major swelling down there. I tore with both my first and my second, but it was pretty bad with my first. And when I was getting stitched up the first time around, I was like, how bad is it? And the nurse was like, oh, it's a 4. And I'm thinking, 4 out of 10, that's awesome, right? It's not that bad. And she says, no, out of 5. As the doc was stitching me up, I was like, it's taking quite some time, right? And he's like, oh, I just want to do a good job. But really, he was putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, and I didn't even know what was going on. The other thing was I was super swollen. Now, as I was getting ready to go to the shower with the nurse, she was walking me to the shower, I remember getting up and going, oh, I think I still have a pad stuck to I think it's stuck to my leg. And she turns to me and says, no, honey, that's not your pad. Just whatever you do, don't look down. I learned that lesson with my first, so that in the second, I was not looking no matter what happened. And all I thought was, things will take care of itself down there. All right, number 5 is my belly looked all kinds of weird. It was lopsided. It looked like a deflated balloon. I still looked like I was 6 or 7 months pregnant, and I was legit lopsided. Plus, I looked pregnant forever. My belly button leaned like to one side when I looked in the mirror, and I still had that dark line that goes up and down, and my skin had like a grayish hue to it. And I really never noticed how gray it was until I was in the shower and I started, putting soap on a loofah, and scrubbing my belly, and all of a sudden it was brightening up and this stuff was coming off. I'm like, what the heck was that? It was super weird. And same with my belly button. It was also dark and then it lightened. And then number 6 was my milk supply was a joke. Breastfeeding for me was super hard. I figured since I had low milk supply the first time around that the second time I was prepared and I was gonna be great at it and everything was gonna be like la 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 la. No, it wasn't. It just doesn't mean anything. It's just I had to figure out the latch because that wasn't working. I had to go to lactation consultant. I had the low milk supply that I was mentioning earlier. And actually, I said I was going to do it in a new video, but let's just put this right in here. The reason why I had low milk supply, even though I was taking like 30 pills a day or whatever it was and drinking the licorice tea and everything, was actually my naturopath told me, she asked me a bunch of questions and I was saying yes, no, and then she says, well, the reason why you have low milk supply, hun, and you'll never be able to feed your baby this way because you have more tissue than ducks. And I said, where were you 6 weeks ago? I've been pulling out my hair and trying to feed my baby and going around the clock, and you look like you have your ponytail on the side of your head. You don't know what the heck the day it is, right? It's crazy. So yeah, my milk supply was just not there and it wasn't going to be there. Nobody told me. They just pumped me full of pills and made me suffer. That sucks. Number 7 is postpartum depression reared its ugly head at 1 year mark. Now, I never knew you could go through postpartum depression when you hit that 1 year mark, but you can. And a lot of us moms don't realize we are actually in depression until we start checking things off the list and going, oh shoot, maybe I am. And even then it's hard to admit that you are depressed. You might think that you're just really tired. So for me, it was all kinds of factors. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to go to the grocery store. I didn't want to see people. I just wanted to stay home. I had a lot of anxiety on top of that. And it got really bad at the 1 year mark with my first and with my second, and the second one lasted longer for me. Number 8 is a weird one. Number 8 is phantom kicks. Let me know below if you get this too. This is all sorts of crazy. You'll be going along, you're typing away, you're on the computer, you're walking, then it's like, because you felt a kick. And then you're thinking, what just happened? And you're running to the store, you're getting a pregnancy test, you're like, holy crap, I gotta be pregnant already. And it turns out that it's negative. I know it's super weird, but it happens. And it can happen for years after, months after, days after, years after. Number 9 was I was way more tired than I thought I would be. And where the heck was me time? You know how you hear everyone say, oh, you wait, enjoy your time while you can. And the first go around, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I am. And you think these people are over exaggerating, they're being dramatic. And then you realize, nope, they were right. You don't realize that you actually can't even go to the bathroom in peace and literally don't have time for anything over 30 seconds. Maybe it's that I was actually quite a bit older when I had my second baby because, I'm a little more tired than I was in my 20s. But I ended up wearing a pretty non-intentional bun on the side of my head for days and didn't even know what the heck day it was, right? It was so bad. My youngest didn't even sleep through the night till like he was a year. I was just like, I don't even know what day it is. I don't know what's going on. Okay, number 10 is my self-esteem went down the toilet. All that self-talk starts taking a toll. Am I a good mom? Do I even know what I'm doing? My body is gross. My stomach is gross. Look how much weight I put on. I feel so fat. And I couldn't even go to the store without my baby because I didn't want people to look at me and be like, so I used him like pretty much like a shield. Oh, she just had a baby, it's all good. So it was awful for me. The self-esteem thing was a huge thing. Number 11, my feet got bigger. I used to be a size 5 after I had my first baby. I was a 5.5, and then now I'm a size 6 in shoes. So for me, it actually is a blessing because now I can go to the store and there's more selection. Some of you women out there who have larger sizes of feet and then they got bigger, you're probably cursing me right now. So for me, it was a good thing. Number 12 is I gained 54 pounds. And I did that not once, but twice. I thought the second time I had it under control because I ate super healthy. The first time I was eating like whatever I wanted pretty much. In my 20s, I didn't care. I was like, I'm eating for two. And then in the second one, I was conscious of everything. And then pretty much the last 3 months was pretty bad and I gained quite a bit. And my son wasn't even born until 42 and a half weeks pregnancy. So I lost my first 20 pounds in a short amount of time, but then it took me quite a bit of time to get the 34 pounds off. I had some crazy hormonal issues. Number 13 is my hair got curly. I used to have straight hair. I had like straight hair with a little bump, and then after I had my first, I had like a little bit more curl, and now I full on have curl from my son. So that's new. Comment below, tell me all the crazy things that are happening to you or have happened to you, or if you haven't had a baby yet and you're currently pregnant and you're freaking out, it's gonna be okay. We learn to deal with some of these things, and you can be like me where you look back and now start to laugh. If you're fresh in it, you're probably not laughing, but that's okay. It's gonna be okay. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to share it, because why the heck not? And make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already so you can be part of the Bodies After Babies community. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. I can't say it. I help mummies just like you fit into your bum. Fit into your bum.